the greatest little internet radio show, Blow the Whistle. Always live on SportsSoundChicago.com and on Twitch at SportsSoundChai. Tyler, Butterball, Beautyball.
I knew this kid was going to be a complete mess, a youth mess, not mess. See, I think he needs to go to Allstate because when you're covered by mayhem, you'll be better protected.
Andrew, Pepe, Valentin.
How can you say that high school's sports is not about business when the IMG Academy, who is supposed to be a legitimate high school, goes for $1.25 billion? Game time.
David, Double D, Dykstra.
Hope and pray to God that Jordan Love twists his ankle so bad that you get to see this godforsaken mess that is Sean Mother Trucking Clifford.
Nick, No Gimmicks, Johnston.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I mean, Josh Allen had the same stat line as Lamar Jackson. You're not getting him any fuss. He literally has one less touchdown than Lamar Jackson, and you're not saying anything.
Tyler Beautyball, Andrew Valentin, David Dykstra, and Nick Johnson. Your greatest little internet radio show everywhere you go.
Let's go! We're back to back. 24 hours of nonsensory.
Joel Embiid ain't doing this.
You know that's true. My toe. I can't talk. My toe.
Yeah.
Or you can say Nate Davis too.
Oh,
Healthy scratch for good.
moment of silence.
So long, dude. Have fun making sandwiches.
Is he your least favorite Bears lineman now? Now, I know it used to be Leon Jr., right?
Oh,
Lennon Jr.
Charles Leno.
Yeah, Charles
I
Leno
hated
Jr.
him. And then he's probably there now. He can't be because he's unemployed.
Who was Januskas?
Was it? No, not Sam Mustipher.
It was wasn't it Incognito? Or not Incognito.
No.
What the hell?
No, Richie,
Where the hell did you get that
Richie
from?
was never on the squad.
He was not. Who was it? Oh, he hated a Bears lineman.
Wasn't Sam Mustipher?
No, it wasn't Mustipher. I can't remember off the top of my. Well, welcome into Blow the Whistle here on SportsTownChicago.com. My name is David Double D Dexter. I'm here with my boys.
Tyler Butterball Beautyball.
And no gimmicks. Nick Johnston.
He goes no gimmicks and just start making goofy faces. That's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen one of
That's
those.
a tease.
Is that your gimmick that you have no gimmick?
Exactly.
Hey,
Ah.
double entendre.
Now you're figuring it out.
Woo.
The last horse finally crosses the finish line.
Yeah.
That's donkey.
Yes.
We saw.
That being said,
Mystery.
24 hours, boys.
Yeah.
As we've got a lot to talk about. We've got 11 in.
Ja.
We've got week 12 in college football.
Ja.
Some interesting matchups. Some possible whip-roos.
Ooh.
Do we want to talk some in-season tourney? Okay, let's get this.
We can.
You know what?
Of how
I know we're
stupid
doing
it
off
is.
the rails today. I do
Let's
have
see.
something. Let's remind me of the in-tournament
Okay.
or in-season tournament for off the rails because I do.
Well, I mean, if it makes anything, it was pretty exciting. What was it? Clay Thompson coming back yesterday.
That was a nice little.
That was cool.
They actually did they gave out a Sailor's captain cap so everyone could tip their cap to Clay Thompson. I thought that was really cool.
Zip
Josh.
Oh,
to
that
the
is
cap.
Yeah, it was all planned and it was a nice movement, but it was all exciting, all for the Golden State Warriors
And
fans.
then-
'Cause Steph Curry
And
made
then,
that dagger three.
and then Steph goes, hold my beer again, you
and then
stupid.
was awesome.
He's
so.
just
Yeah. And you know what I get? You know what I get from my up. If you didn't put it out on social media, it doesn't count.
That's my bank account.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit an actual bet for once, and then we'll talk.
Oh,
That's right, you grizzly mongrel mother. Thoughts and prayers out to Jenks. He had a really close friend pass away last night. Unexpectedly. So thoughts and prayers to Jenks. Costas and him have to have a discussion. So Costas just looks at him and goes, you know, there are times where you can go, it's time to walk away.
Yeah, that's true.
at least sound excited like you like football.
I don't understand how
Bob Costas, just keep him with golf.
Clark Kellogg needs fantastic for the walk-off or the block kick against the Denver Broncos Chiefs game.
I don't think
think.
the only image I ever have of Gus Johnson is when Penn State was playing Wisconsin for like the first home game after COVID, and they played jump around for the first time, and you just see Gus Johnson up in the booth, and he's just doing this, and I'm like, yeah, Gus got a little rhythm and a rhyme.
When I remember him, first like great call I remember hearing from him was the Big Ten championship with Nebraska and Wisconsin, and Kenny Bell destroyed a Badger, and it was a clean block, but they called it unnecessary roughness. And he's like, "That's football. That's football." And I was like, "Yeah, that's right. Screw you, you little Wisconsin."
Mine is probably from the Big Ten championship, Penn State, Wisconsin. Saquon. It's like, yeah.
So the Thursday night game.
Getting back to the Thursday night game and Al Michaels' incredible call of it. Commanders, Eagles. I lean Eagles here just because they look like they're finally getting back to what they were a couple years ago, which is surprising to me. And it looked like it did take a little bit of time for Jalen to get his head wrapped around the offense and the new center and offensive line to gel together, but now that they have, and you know what I'm going to blame this on? The unbelievable, unspeakable, and if this isn't on Madden within the next 2 months, it should be sacrilege backwards hurdle from Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He's been starting to jive with this offense, and he's
How many people over the last 5 years was going, imagine if he had a line?
Yeah.
Could you imagine what Saquon would be? Well, you're starting to see it.
I know, because for a second we thought his career was disintegrating because of the Giants were just destroying him. But he's found his home with Philadelphia, and now that the Eagles are starting to kick back in, they're starting to look dangerous. At first I was like, this Eagles is kind of looking like their back half of last year Eagles. But
I think it was partly to do with Jalen having to call out the protection plans.
Yeah.
Now that Kelsey was gone, I mean,
that's a huge adjustment.
They didn't have AJ Brown at the beginning of the season.
That's also a big.
And his connection between Hurts and to Brown has been a solid.
Well, they also
connection.
didn't have Smith too,
and he's dealing with a lingering hamstring injury, but it looks like he's going to play sometime during the week. So
better. I need him.
I do too. I just traded for him. Honestly, this offense is gelling so well. I mean, we were kind of sitting there like, oh, what's going to be like without Jason Kelsey? I mean, it's not much of a difference in terms of leadership and just moving the ball, and they're gelling well at the right time. They're not on fire, so it's not that thing of they're like, oh, they're torching everything. They're getting hot too quick. No, they're just gelling well. They have a pretty somewhat subpar schedule. I think they like I said, they've been able to get wins with injury. So.
Well,
they're in a really good spot, and this sets up the division for a really solid game. So.
I don't think anybody saw Dallas being as god awful as they actually are.
I knew they were gonna be bad, but not this
I figured they'd
freaking
take
bad.
a step back, but I figured it'd be like 500 step back.
Yeah, no, they're
Not. Oh,
fighting for the
okay.
first overall pick.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
there was some noise before we go any further with this. Let's actually we'll get to it here in a little bit. Let's finish with the Thursday night game and then we'll go on to the big grandiose one.
Oh yeah.
X factor always when it comes to the Commanders is Jaden Daniels.
Correct.
Yeah.
If that defense is, I mean, let's be honest. Pittsburgh has done the best job against Jaden Daniels of any team. He rushed for 5 yards.
Yeah.
5 yards.
That and for him to do that, that's not unheard of. I mean, that's definitely unheard of because he's been running over the league so far in his rookie
He's your
year.
definition of a dual threat quarterback right now in the NFL.
Oh, he's
Him and Kyler.
Yeah.
no, he's been
100%. killing
killing it. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing, and we've kind of noticed the Commanders. It's almost like teams have started, like you said, with Pittsburgh, but other teams too are starting to work that way into containing Jaden Daniels more because his really only good weapon out there is McLaurin, and if he can't get McLaurin, there's really
He's got Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is having himself.
He's been a good
season.
like safety net, yeah. Like you're
Zach
not gonna,
Ertz is having himself a season.
you're not going to
I'll
get you're not going
give
to
him
get a
that
big
much.
shot down the field with
And they're
Zach
able to
Ertz.
just move the ball on the ground. Like they lose Brian Robinson. Jr.
Brian
these
Robinson.
past two
That makes a
games.
lot of difference for that offense. If Brian
Yeah.
Robinson Jr. is playing, they are a.
And then that McNichols, is that the last
Oh
name?
yeah,
He
I
comes
know
out of
you're
nowhere. He's able to still help as well. So they got a solid little ground game. So overall, pretty balanced offense.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night. I am once again I'm leaning Eagles. One, because it's in Philly. Two, I just think their offense is more cohesive right now than
yeah.
the Commanders.
For me, sorry.
No, you go.
I was just gonna ask both of you guys. I know Jaden Daniels is kind of fringe on the fence, like in that MVP talk. If he wins this game and dominates on Thursday, is he full on an MVP talk?
You have to start at least sprinkling him in there.
Okay.
I mean, if you're talking Sam Darnold, if you're talking Brock Purdy, I mean, you're talking some of these guys that are on the outer fringe.
Yeah,
You have to be talking about Jaden Daniels.
I feel like he can enter the chat for sure because I mean you have Lamar Jackson and then
Lamar Jackson, Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen,
They have Jalen Hurts up there right now.
Mhm.
You still always kind of have to have Patrick Mahomes up there until he's not. And then some have even said Jared Goff. I know the 5 interception game kind of puts a blemish on it, but overall,
If Patrick Mahomes is in there leading the league in interceptions right now, if I
probably
do,
let's
I do think he's leading the league in interceptions.
let's take a gander at that one, folks. I'll look it up.
I forgot some crazy stat that he's had, but I mean, like, well, he had that one game where he didn't throw an incompletion
Yeah.
off of 14 passes. So
Patrick
God.
Mahomes has 9. 3 other quarterbacks are tied for first with 10. So,
But he's,
he's
right
up there.
there.
He's up
Yeah, he's right there.
and if it wasn't for that last game, Jared Goff had 4.
But once again, Goff, you could sit there and say Goff's having a career year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why he's not in the discussion.
him going to Detroit was the best thing.
It's a win-win for both.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a win-win for both.
It's just looking better for Detroit.
Right
Yeah,
now,
a little bit right now.
right now.
I mean, LA did it.
They did dynasty.
How long does that dynasty last if Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson leave, though? That's the question.
That is the question.
I mean, you got at that point, you got to just trust that Dan Campbell. Well, he's gonna find his. He's gonna find his.
That's a family.
He'll bring Matty Reflus as a DC.
Yeah, do you Bears foremost?
Mhm.
Did you both know that it the 3 when the Panthers fired
Frank Reich.
Frank Wright?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a good look, boys.
No, it's not. It is not. I'm not going to season Bears at point. And ever since the losing streak, it's been, I think it was even at one point. And now it was
Packers to cover, please.